Three travelers, huddled over from the cold, track their footprints in deep snow as they make their way across a diagonal slope in the quiet of an overcast winter evening. Overhead, the sky is gray, dotted with snowflakes. The roofs of the structures in this mountain village are covered in fresh snow. In the quiet of the snowfall, we can almost hear the snow crunching under the travelers' feet. This scene is from the famous Woodblock print series titled 53 Stations of Tōkaidō, published between 1832 and 1834 by Japanese print designer Andō Hiroshige. The Tōkaidō was one of the two main highways that connected the cities of Tokyo and Kyoto. The Tōkaidō, which ran along the Pacific coast, had 53 post stations, where travelers could rest and refuel throughout the long journey. Travelers mostly journeyed on foot, and on average, it took a week, but it could take up to a month to make the trip depending on the weather. Kanbara was the 15th station along the route. Hiroshige traveled the Tōkaidō in 1832, making sketches along the way to document the experience. The sketches inspired this woodblock print series where he depicted all 53 post stations. A woodblock print is an image that was first illustrated on a sheet of paper and then transferred to a woodblock by a carver to be inked and printed. In the case of Evening Snow at Kanbara, Hiroshige made the initial drawing on paper to be transferred to a block, and then a block cutter who specialized in carving woodblocks carved the design. Cherry wood was used because it was a hardwood resistant to warping under wet conditions. It also allowed for intricate carvings. For a multicolored print like this one, the block cutter had to carve a single block for each color to be printed. They chiseled away all portions of the block, except those to be printed, which were left in relief. The block cutter also added registration marks or guide marks called kento to the blocks so that the printer could accurately print the different colors on a single sheet of paper. The printer inked the blocks with ink using a brush. They then placed a piece of handmade mulberry paper over the block for printing. They used a circular rubbing pad called a baren to rub or press the design onto the paper. The carved wood blocks could be used over and over to make multiple impressions of a design. Although the figures making their way across the snowy slope in the foreground are dressed in bright blue and yellow with a few shocks of red, Evening Snow at Kanbara was printed mostly in shades of black, with uninked sections left to depict snow. Unlike most of Hiroshige's landscapes in the series, this one is almost entirely imaginary. It rarely snows in Kanbara, and Hiroshige visited the post station in early summer. Hiroshige was inspired by nature and took freedom in his designs. He was interested in depicting a variety of times, seasons, and climates throughout the series, making the decision to give us a quiet, snowy scene at a location that seldom saw snow. Hiroshige's success with the Tōkaidō series shaped his career as an artist and initiated a long-standing rivalry with Katsushika Hokusai, known for his 36 Views of Mount Fuji print series, among others. Hiroshige is credited with founding the new genre of pictures of famous places, or meisho-e, making him the most prominent landscape artist of his time.